Hello, and welcome to Stompboxing, a podcast about guitar pedals and whatever else. My name is Dan,
I'm Carlos.
and today we're talking about solo guitar. I think we
Yes.
decided how we
Which
kind of
is-
approach.
It's not guitar
Point.
solo.
Correct. Yes, it could be, but it's not.
No.
Not in the traditional sense of guitar solo.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're just talking about this. Like, we both play like solo sets on guitar,
Mhm.
and obviously by that we mean guitar and pedals.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, I think literally what we play is pretty different from
Yeah.
each other. And I suspect that like how we came to it and maybe like how we think of it is also different enough that it would be a fun topic.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like I'm still like figuring out what I do solo too sometimes.
Oh, interesting.
Or it can change from context to context too, because like I've played more solo gigs where it's like I'm just doing more like jazz chord melody stuff, and then I've opened for your band Wombat a couple
Yeah.
times doing solo sets, and then I mean maybe that's just the company I'm around, but I feel like I can be a little more exploratory,
Oh, sure.
but still playing some songs mixed into. Yeah, and I think last episode I talked about opening for Julian Lage. And I was kind of scared for that gig. Like I didn't say yes right away. I had to like think about it because I was like, it's intimidating because Julian Lage is like a hero and fantastic. And I was like, I don't just want to do like a worse version of what he does, basically.
Yeah, I can see that.
And so I think for that show, I think I did a good job of like separating myself kind of and staying in my lane kind of thing where it's like, oh no, yeah, I'm going to do what I'm comfortable doing. And like, I did a little loop stuff in that set. I remember like ambient loop stuff, but maybe not as much as I have done more recently, I guess.
Yeah. Because I'm trying to think like last time that you opened for Wombat, you didn't stop, right? Or did you?
I don't think I did. Yeah.
Okay.
I think I just melded everything together. I've kind of been doing that lately too. Well, because I find applause sometimes uncomfortable, and so it's like if I can just squash that from the get go.
You're not supposed to like this. No, because I was gonna say like I feel like when specifically about that last time that I saw you play live, I like that at times it was hard to know like, is this a song or is this just Dan playing?
Well, because some of the songs too, song is probably a strong word. It's like these ideas I've had that I haven't fully developed yet, but there are these little progressions or little things that I want to keep in my brain. And so and those are like the perfect gigs to kind of keep those fresh and like figure out where they might go.
Yeah.
So it's these little themes kind of, and then they get melded into these little interludes with all the various looping stuff that I try and do.
Nice. I guess like how. So do you have at first like some like solo guitar gigs that were like you were just playing songs?
I'm trying to remember. So I remember in high school. Me and a friend, Tony Brown is his name, and we had kind of like a Dave Matthews, Tim Reynolds type of thing going on, like both like a acoustic guitar duo. He was a singer-songwriter. And then we were supposed to play a gig. I think Tony had to cancel or something came up at this coffee shop. And so that might have been my first like solo gig that I played. And I think I did kind of instrumental covers of stuff. I think I borrowed a friend's one of like the little Boss delay pedals, like their standard stomp box size. I don't remember which model, but so I think I used that doing some like Tim Reynolds type stuff with volume swell delay and whatever. I wasn't like looping at that point, I don't think, but I remember I think I played like Imagine, the John Lennon tune. And
you play that on guitar, like solo guitar?
Yeah,
that is wild. Like, and you were in high school?
I'm curious what it. I'd love to hear what it sounds like because I'm sure it wasn't very good. But
I mean, still like that blows my mind.
I'm trying to think like how long I would have played too, because I don't know how much material I had. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like
yeah,
that might have been like my first like proper like gig too. Dunn Brothers Coffee, I think.
Because
yeah, so like that.
You don't sing, right?
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
I sang once there was this in high school. Our English classes would do this thing called E-term, where for like a week in January, each English class would kind of pick a different topic, and you could sign up. And so one of the teachers did a Bob Dylan week, where he talked about just Bob Dylan's writing or whatever. And then he kind of had me just come and play in his class. And I think me and a friend played All Along the Watchtower, and I sang that, which I'm getting sweaty already thinking about it. Yeah, wow. How did I have the confidence to do that? Anyway, so no. Short answer, no, I don't sing.
Yeah. No, but the confidence thing is funny because, like, to me, if you ask me, like, would you rather sing and play, like, I don't know, 10 covers or do solo arrangements on guitar, I would choose the singing one. Like,
oh yeah,
no question. Like, I'm totally fine with that.
No, yeah, that's like I'm still even editing these podcasts, I'm still getting over listening to my voice. So
yeah, I mean, singing voice feels different. Like, I feel like when you sing, what you hear is more similar to what it sounds like. When you're talking, there's more of a difference. But.
Yeah, it's like a different person almost.
Sure.
But yeah, so I probably just did like, maybe I like improvised a little. I don't know. I had some other just like original like instrumental tunes I'd written too, I think. But
okay.
And then I think probably in college I played some like more jazz gigs where it was when I was learning more like chord melody stuff or whatever. So less like abstract kind of stuff and more just like jazz standards. And then I'm trying to think of when I would have gotten into like the looping thing. I mean, I got that Line 6 DL4 at some point, and yeah, that was, I don't know, but I didn't do that many solo gigs back then. Even now, it's like they're kind of sporadic here and there, and maybe that's why I don't know what I'm doing yet, because it's all the gigs are far enough between where it's every time I have to do one, it's like, what do I do again for these?
Interesting. I also think it's interesting that you mentioned, you're talking about a lot about like looping or like when you got the looper and stuff like that. Because to me, when I see you play solo, the looping is maybe not even that necessary.
Yeah, it's I've gone in waves in that too. I think there's been other times I've leaned on that a little more, or maybe it's more subtle, I guess. I don't know. It's not.
Yeah, like I'm just thinking, like, if I hadn't heard you and I just heard you talk, I would be like, oh, he's looping like he's looping a part and then playing on top of it. And it's like, no, you're kind of making like a mattress.
It's like a soundscape kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done very little of that like timed looping stuff.
Yeah.
I think for that Julian Laws show, I did a little, just like a pretty simple, like rhythmic thing of like one or two notes that worked with the tune so I could play like in time.
Cool.
With that, which that's kind of freeing in some ways, where it's like, you're playing to a fancier metronome, a more musical metronome. But yeah, the timed looping stuff is scary to me still. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd much rather meld into the the space.
Well, and it's also like a skill on its own. Like, I feel like even if you have good timing, you have to learn how to loop. Like,
totally.
Like, coordinating your feet and like understanding that like the foot has to happen in time.
Yeah.
Because I think what you usually do at first is like, oh, and now I'm done playing, and now I'm going to stop the loop or like finish the loop. And it's like, no, it has to be on the downbeat. You can't just.
Years ago, I saw Andrew Bird play at the Minnesota Zoo. He was playing with Martin Dosh on drums, and they started this tune, and they were both looping. And then probably like 90 seconds, 2 minutes in, Andrew had to stop and be like, "We're gonna restart this because my loop got off." It's like, oh yeah, I mean, it's difficult. Even a guy like that, like.
I mean, I was thinking about like what would count as, because I've definitely done very different types of solo guitar sets. Like probably the first ones were, I mean, you were probably in Iowa City by that time, but like I don't think we interacted then. I've released a couple of different albums as Black Stork.
Okay.
The first one was, so this was me playing instrumental. So like I was just playing acoustic guitar.
Okay.
And then I had backing tracks that were I think when I was playing live, I was only using like the quote unquote percussion tracks that I also made programming like samples from an acoustic guitar. So it was kind of like almost like percussion guitar, but like split into, this is just gonna be the computer, and so I'm just playing. And I mean, I basically program it as if it was a drum set.
Yeah.
And yeah, so on the record, there's definitely like some like fake bass where I was just playing single notes and then pitch shifting it down. And there's some like overdubs with multiple guitars, but I think maybe the backing tracks were almost just the percussion part. So I played those a bunch of times. Even one time I opened for somebody at Field New Weird Things doing that. And I opened for somebody at Mission Creek doing that.
Okay.
Yeah, and obviously like I Hear I See, I played that kind of stuff a bunch of times. And then when Justin and I started doing I Hear I See, which sorry. This is very like
the context we need.
Yeah. It's very, very inside baseball for Iowa City.
Yes.
I Hear I See is this concert series that had been going for very long. Like it had, like there have been multiple people running the series, and then Justin Comer and I took over from somebody else who had moved. And when we started, we had a really hard time getting people to play at the concerts, so we had to play a lot. And we didn't want to do the same thing every time. So at some point, I just started like playing covers. So there's some videos of me at the mill, playing and singing. And I mean, for that, it's like nothing fancy. Like I'm just playing chords on guitar or doing something simple and singing. But I mean, those were definitely not what I was thinking about when I was suggesting we should talk about solo guitar. So like if I'm playing solo, it's just free improvisation. And I think the first time I did that was in Philadelphia. Yeah, because I mean, I started improvising more seriously with Wombat in Iowa City. And I think already then I was kind of thinking, okay, I should get to a point where I can do this alone. And be comfortable. Because obviously, I mean, even on a trio, I feel like the nice thing, but also something that I feel like if I'm playing with, especially with people who haven't improvised that much, like it's a good reminder, like if there's 3 people, you can definitely take breaks. I mean, if there's 2 people, you can, but I feel like you kind of have to warn. Like everybody needs to be okay with that, because then suddenly you're playing a solo, right? but if there's 3 people, it's super easy to just like tap out for a second. But I mean, it's not like in Iowa City at that time, there was so much demand for free improvisation that we couldn't fulfill it with just Wombat. And we had to do solo gigs. But obviously Will Yeager was like I think the first time that he played in Iowa City was just doing solo.
Okay.
So that was just kind of like a goal of mine. Or like, okay, I need to figure this out and practice enough so I can do it. And then when I moved to Philadelphia, somebody asked me to play at a show, and it was just kind of like 20 minutes or to half an hour, just you. And then the pandemic happened. So that's when one of my goals there was like, okay, now I'm going to figure this out.
You were kind of like forced.
Because I mean, it was also the perfect opportunity. I mean, I guess I don't know if we've talked about that. Like all the videos are still on YouTube. I did this like for a year. I would do like a short improvisation. I would record myself and upload it. And I mean, those started kind of like just documenting what I was doing, and then they developed into more artsy stuff, and the videos started getting more crazy, and there was overdubs and things like that.
I kind of did that with loops too. Like I just had my, since I wasn't gigging, I had like my pedal board just set up in my room, like ready to go. And so, yeah, I would just do these like layered loops and then post those. And then a lot of those turned into, on my record Bloom, like a lot of those songs started as these loops, and then I would just add stuff around it. So thank God for the pandemic, huh? got me better at looping. Sorry, continue.
Yeah, so I think, yeah, definitely after that, like when we got out of the pandemic, I felt like, okay, I can do this.
Mhm.
And yeah, so I mean, it's not like, I can't remember when was the last time I did a solo set. I think it was probably at a concert where I was also playing as part of a duo.
Okay.
But we did also just like each of us did a solo. I mean, I think in my case, well, I don't know. I mean, maybe this would it will have more to do with what you do too. But like, I guess my main thought about like what I do is how much of this is improvised,
Yeah,
and how much is not. Because yeah, especially like throughout that routine of recording myself during the pandemic, I developed this, I don't know, praxis, I guess, where I start without knowing what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And sometimes that will be the first take. I would already be recording, and sometimes that was the take, and sometimes the other thing would happen, which was I would stumble upon something and then like, oh, okay, that
Yeah.
was good. Or like those sounds were interesting. And from there going to this other thing was interesting too. And so I started just kind of like doing it over and over until I get like the more polished version that I like. Which I mean, this might only be like 4 times, 5 times. It's not like a crazy amount of yeah, it's kind of like my composer brain like kicks in and it's like, okay, that was nice, but like this build up was too long. So let's do it again. Let's see if we can trim that. And obviously, I mean, the note choices and stuff like that will change, but kind of like the order of effects, the pacing, the transitions start becoming more and more stable.
Okay.
So yeah, so then when I started playing live, again, like that same process just kicked in. So what I would do usually is like maybe a week before the show, I start trying things out. And then by like the day before the show, like I've kind of done that improvisation like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
And I might even have like some notes on my phone of like, okay, before you start, these are the pedals that need to be on, or these are knobs, the settings. Yeah. Like double check this, yeah. And then like, okay, you're gonna start with this. At some point, like you're gonna. So I mean, it might be something where like just off the top of my head, like, okay, like we're gonna start with the reverb and the ring mod. And like I will like tune the ring mod like before it starts, so that like
Okay.
It's in some frequency that I like the way it sounds. And it's like, okay, I'm gonna do this for a while. Then eventually I'm going to start looping some of those sounds, like create like a texture with those. Close the loop.
And are you looping with the microcosm?
Yeah, that's my looper. So yeah, we'll be like, okay, creating this loop, turn off the ring mod, move to this other sound. Maybe like, are we adding that to the loop, or are we just like moving to this and then turning the loop off, or like this, like, yeah, doing something to the loop with the microcosm too. So yeah, a lot of it is mainly like the transitions, because with me like playing guitar and the pedals all with my hands, and like if I'm using an Evo, you're kind of stuck.
Yeah.
So, and I have some expression pedals, but like sometimes you can kind of put yourself into a corner, and then it's like, well, crap. Now, if I stop playing what I'm playing, it's gonna be
Like the bottom's gonna drop out. Yeah.
Yeah. Which I mean can also be interesting, but like it's nice to know like this is the progression of events that is going to get me to this sound, and this is how I get out of that sound.
Your parachute on the way out.
Yeah, totally. Which obviously, if I'm playing with somebody, then it's not as much of an issue because they're covering things. So like it's not all on me.
Yeah.
So again, like the notes, the specific like settings or like sounds or stuff like that might all change. But I just like having some roadmap of like these are the beats that I'm going to hit, and in between of them it can be something else. And then the last time I didn't do that. I just went for it, and I think it was fine, but I didn't like it.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, and I think at the end of the day, like, I don't think anybody cares if it's all improvised or not.
Yeah, I mean, they're taking it in however they take it in, regardless.
Yeah, so I think I might just go back to like, I mean, it's still improvisation.
Yeah,
like,
yes.
I don't know what else I would call it. It's not a piece. Yeah, I think I just need to let go of like, well, are you faking this? Is it? Are you lying to people when you say this is improvised when
note for note
almost the same? Yeah.
Side note, we should do a gig sometime where we play on each other's pedal boards.
I have thought about this. I think it would be really funny.
Sorry.
But okay, but like we should. Do we have time to prepare, or is it?
I think
just
we just
like,
go. I think we just.
Oof.
which is scary with the HX Stomp, but.
Well, but I mean, with the HX Stomp, I would just tell you like I'm not menu diving. It's just like this is this effect, this is this effect, this is this effect, this is what the expression pedal does,
and then I change all your presets.
You delete all
sabotage.
Well, I mean, if I delete your Volante preset, that's it. You can't play anymore.
I quit guitar then at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, but so like when you're doing your thing of like going in and out of, I mean, well, both like within a song or like within a whole set, if there's like songs and interludes, like, do you know the order of the songs? Do you know when you're going to?
I know earlier I said that I'm still finding what I'm doing, but I think maybe I have. I don't know, because it is kind of the last few times it's been like I'll come in and I'll start with. There's a couple little, let's call them songlets. These little song ideas, or these like chord progressions, where I'll come in and it's like, all right, I'm gonna start with, or I'll usually start with just like a little background loop kind of thing, just like a little musical foundation, so it's not totally empty, and then play this little song idea thing, and then maybe I've thought of a couple other tunes I could play down the end, but usually it's just stream of consciousness kind of thing where I'll have this little song idea. Sometimes there's a little interludes like built into those too with I don't know, vamps for lack of a better word, where it's just like this smear of a chord or whatever. Then kind of maybe expand upon that original chord progression somehow. But it's generally I'm like riding the wave of like building a loop, and then kind of how you're talking about like putting yourself in a corner. I'm always kind of cognizant of like, all right, I want to get out of this, but I'm not just gonna like turn the loop off like that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of how do I get out of this in an artful way, and then how much do I want to lean into playing like really dissonantly, like building this loop that gets out there, because I don't know, that is a kind of way to transition stuff in like a, I don't know if it's not cheating, but it's like, well, it opens up opens up more options for me. And then also having, I've changed the order kind of recently where there's a reverb after my loop, so I could turn off a loop so it fizzles in a little more naturally, which has been nice. Yeah. And then this last solo set I did, I opened for, is it David Moneypenny? Derek Moneypenny, I think, at the Stompboxing. Okay. But I played that set with the Benson delay. I played that one on my smaller board.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and now I've kind of built that board to kind of be able to get. It's my like weird board, I guess, for lack of better, or it allows me to
Yeah.
get a little bit weirder because I just put the lost and found on that too, actually. But for this gig, yeah, I was messing with more of like kind of that on the verge of oscillating that delay and kind of leaning
Yeah.
into that more for that set, which was fun, a different challenge for me. And then playing that stuff is basically the Benson and the mood.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, catching some of those oscillating things in like the mood micro looper, and with the mood you can switch the order of or what goes into what, I guess. Not what I guess it is what goes into what. Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah. Yeah, right, because you have like two
because you can have
sides.
your dry signal unaffected by the left side if you just want the loop to be getting whatever
I
delay
see.
sound is on the left side. So yeah, so you can mess with that a lot. It's a very cool, quote unquote, normal sounding pedal a lot of the time, but you can easily expand it to be all weird. I'm trying to remember what songs I played, or quote unquote songs I played for that. I think it was another thing too, where it's like a little chord progression. I have a song called Festly that is like a really simple melody. It's like a 3-chord song. Really simple melody that I play that a lot just because it's very, by its nature, very open ended and free flowing.
Yeah. But so for example, like in one set, like I mean, if we don't make distinctions between what you would call songs and what you would call songlets, like how many songs are you, and like do you have like a set list?
No. So I think that this last one, I think I played my song Minnesota too, which I had not, again, I hadn't planned on, but
oh wow, okay.
but I ended on that tune starts with like a big, just kind of a suspended chord. And so I was like, oh, I guess we're gonna do this now.
Cool.
Yeah, I generally don't pick the songs. For that Julian Laws set I opened, I for sure picked the songs because I was like, and that was just a more like song oriented set anyway too. But I just wanted to make sure I knew what I was doing for that one. But like for these, but for these other sets where it's like, well, and I'll ask Katie like how long I was supposed to play, and she's like, whatever. And it's like, okay, that's easy for me then. So then I just kind of find myself in a good ending point. But there's probably like 2 quote unquote songs I played for that. It's been fewer and fewer songs and more of the kind of soundscape building. And then like if I'm playing on my bigger board too, it's the Volante is the main looper. That's the thing with the smaller board is like it's got the Mood has that micro looper. So it's a little more limiting in that way for me, but I don't know. I also like having different stuff and figuring stuff out on the bandstand too. It's like it gets my brain working in a different way where it's just working with what I've got there, figuring it out.
Yeah, I remember looking at the Mood at some point and kind of coming to a conclusion of like, and I might be wrong about this, but the impression was like, oh yeah, this cannot work as a normal loop.
No, it's not predictable in that sense.
Which like it's not like I use the looper on the microcosm for rhythmic looping, but like it is more just like what you record is what you
get.
So unless you're adding effects to it, but like especially for the solo stuff, like having a looper. Is it a crutch? I don't know.
I always think about that too. Like, is this? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, it just makes some things so much easier because, like, just being able to have a sound. I mean, like, okay, I want this to keep going, and I want to do something. Like, I want to add something to it. Then
it buys you time to change settings too. It's like,
totally, yeah.
I'm sure the audience the audience probably prefers a little sound while you're messing with stuff rather than just like stopping and like
and I mean if you loop well enough you can make it sound like it's just a soundscape. You're not hearing where the loop starts.
And I also too with the Volante will switch directions of the tape sound a couple times too, so it's even more ambiguous with where it starts and ends. And then if you got multiple loops, like you could have the micro loop of the Mood going along
totally.
with that, and then it's
Oh yeah, I guess. I mean, this is now more maybe just about improvising, but like, because you already mentioned like time, like, 'cause I am kind of, I'm very strict about like, maybe it's just from running shows, but like, I want to know how long somebody's gonna play. I want them to stick to that.
Yeah, totally.
So I more or less like, sure, it's fine, but like especially if you ask somebody to like play earlier in the show and like it's been like 40 minutes and they're still going, and you're like, no, you have to stop. So usually if I'm playing solo, like I start a timer just to have some idea of like how long I've been playing. I would try to like find an ending, and I mean, also when if I'm improvising with other people, like it's nice to not have to force an ending or not have to ignore an ending that presents itself.
Yeah.
Like if it happens too early in the set, then it's kind of that question of like, well, do we stop and then start again, which can also be fine, or do we just keep going?
There's definitely been times where I've like I keep my phone close by or whatever, just like quick, like check the time. And there's been a couple times where I'll check it and it's like, okay, I've only got like 5 minutes left. Like now what do I do? And then and that's where I might pivot to like Festly or whatever is a song that I can easily like, and that's that could be that could be any length it needs to be too. It's like
nice.
So there's those kind of like escape hatches.
Yeah. I had a thought and I lost it. You can edit this out.
It's staying in and being doubled.
No, because I was thinking about the time. Oh yeah, I guess like, what's your expectation from a solo set in terms of like how much do you think it benefits from that uncertainty and that like in the moment, like, oh, I guess I'm playing this song now. And how much do you want it to, like, if you record it and you listen back to it, how much do you want it to be like, if this was planned, this couldn't have been better?
Can you wait?
Sorry. So, because no, sorry. I don't know if maybe if I listen back to my question, I don't even know if it's that cohesive. Like when you're done, like if there was something that was a bit like, okay, maybe that section was too long, or maybe that transition could have been better. Like, are you still happy about it because you're like, well, that's
I think like, for me it's like, this is the journey it took, and maybe that's the journey it needed to take to get to where it got. Like it's like any kind of improv, I guess, too, where it's like you get to this point, or it's like, I think we talked about this on another episode with like these loops or things that can only happen with these steps along the way.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of similar to that for me, where it's like, even if there's some like warts along the way, ultimately if the place you get to is good and elevated, it's worth it to kind of maybe muddle through a little bit.
Yeah, because I can totally see that, but also often, and I think maybe that's also part of like why I ended up with this thing that I do of like, okay, now I know what the path is. Now let's get it better. Because again, I think just like being on both sides in terms of like composing and improvising, I feel like it happens sometimes, but like seeing an improvisation and you're like, man, like that feeling of like, if somebody had written this, it couldn't have been better. Like it was just so seamless and cohesive. So I feel like that's kind of like the level that I want to get to, where and ideally being able to then like not prepare anything and just,
I think
just go. And,
I'm someone who tends to like overthink things, and so I think now when I do solo sets, I like to kind of take that away by not planning stuff. So it allows me to be totally free in the moment, and then I'm just overthinking stuff on stage, I guess. But then it's more fun. I don't know. It's like I haven't there's no like roadmap I need to follow. Then it's kind of just, and I know my gear well enough too, where it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I fall into the same kind of things sometimes, but then but in the moment that I'm cognizant of that, where it's like, oh, I'm gonna maybe zig here where I might usually do something else.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just it frees my mind to not, because I do plenty of other gigs where I do need to know what's going on, and so it's like this is an outlet for me to just let it go, and whatever happens and trust my playing.
Yeah. I mean, trust your playing. That's a big thing. Yeah, for me, it's kind of weird that it is just like, I don't know. It feels like my approach to playing with a group is very different than playing solo. When improvising in a group and improvising solo, because in the group I'm much more just accepting of like, yeah, that was. I mean, I feel like there's people who take an even more loose approach and like, well, what people came to see was a conversation. So like, what happened, and I'm like, okay, sure, but I want it to be good.
Yeah, I mean, having standards is good.
Yeah, like it, to me, is not enough that like, oh well, everybody was listening and everybody was reacting. It's like, yeah, but I mean, that's good. I want that, but also then I want people to make interesting choices, right? But yeah, in terms of like, I don't know, shapes or something like that, like, yeah, it feels much more uncontrollable, and also in a good way. Like you can be very surprised, and it's like, okay, whatever happened, like.
So since you're not like thinking maybe notes as much as I am, are you thinking more like textures and like shapes and stuff like that?
Yeah, a lot of it is like form, like just like contrast between different sections, like kind of like define sounds. Like, okay, I'm going to be in this area, and then I'm gonna like leave these sounds behind and like get into this, or which obviously then my background in composition, and I mean in the kind of composition that I do, which is also very much like not about the notes. I think that's why like it's hard for me to like turn the composer brain off, because like it doesn't feel that different than like if I was doing like an electronic music piece in terms of like what the ideal outcome would be. I mean a lot of it is that kind of trying to reach for the impossible, and I think that is like part of what's fun about it, right? That like you're trying to do something that you know it's almost for sure not going to happen, and you're still going to try your best. Because I mean I could also like really plan everything. But I mean like when I've actually like written electronic music that where you just like press play and that's it, it's also kind of boring.
I mean that just aspect of chance is always makes things interesting.
And of risk. In a way.
Totally.
I don't know. I was just thinking of like what are like good examples of like things that I've seen. It was like, wow. Or like solo performances. I guess in the last episode we were talking about Christy Lee. Which obviously that's very much like song based. I mean, I'm sure that there's times when he kind of goes on a tangent or something.
But it's still within like the structure of a song usually.
And I think like in terms of like, you just saw what's her name?
Eviction, is that?
I don't know how you pronounce
it, but she was great. That was really cool.
Okay.
I had no idea. I didn't know her beforehand and hadn't even planned to see her necessarily that day, but there's a gap in the schedule and I was like, oh yeah, this looks cool. Nice. And it was very cool and it's crazy. But like, I mean, everyone was like on board too, which is very, very fun. She did end the show with a whip.
Wow,
that was a little scary. I'm gonna be honest with you. And she did warn us. She was like, "You guys might want to back up." And then,
how long was
longer
this
than
whip?
I thought it would be. No one got whipped, but well, because she had like it was at Gabe's, which is like a rock club in Iowa City, kind of a dingy rock club, cool venue. But she had her table of stuff on stage And at some point, she like pulled it halfway off. I was getting nervous at that point too, but all of her important stuff was taped on there. And then eventually it was just in the pit or whatever, and then had the whip and was like, you guys might want to move. But I wonder too, during that it's like, how much is like does she have a set list or like an order of operation she's following, or is it just kind of like whatever sparks her at the moment? Because like she had many different things, like a little like pocket trumpet or whatever, small trumpet.
Oh, okay.
This like retainer looking thing with contact mics she could plug into.
Whoa.
This like piano roll. That was very cool. Something that looks like a snare, basically a bunch of like metal strings. These like turntables, contact mics on like every finger too. It was wild.
I mean, I guess from talking to people, it does seem like a lot of people at least know like all the things that
I'm sure the whip was definitely like is
I don't think she had it there just in case.
And that's
somebody when like go rowdy. She had to whip.
And I bet that's always the end of the show too. It's like I don't imagine you just think in the middle of the set like, I think now is whip time.
I think the last time I saw a solo live performance, it was like, wow. It was Charmaine Lee, which, I mean, there might be some more. Like, she mainly does voice stuff. And a lot of looping, a lot of like different types of processing. And it was one of those, like, it was a pretty long, like, non-stop set, like maybe 35 minutes or so. And even there was a couple of moments when I thought like, okay, now I feel like maybe you're going through different material too quickly or something. And I like at the beginning when it was more cohesive, and then suddenly like she like as if we were thinking the same thing, like she kind of like kicked into like, okay, now we're sitting again more in the same textures. I'm trying to think of like just guitar.
I don't
or guitar and pedals that I can think of. The what's his name? Aaron Turner. He's the singer and guitar player in Sumac, and years ago he was in a band called ISIS. No relation to
the terror group.
The other ISIS. I think a year or two ago I saw him in Seattle do a solo set. That was very interesting because I mean, I only know him from playing in this like weird metal bands, and I think he found a good way of like, I mean, it wasn't like I don't know if there were songs, but it was like you could still definitely tell like his background, but the way he was kind of like going in and out of like some stuff that was slightly more riff oriented, and then stuff that was freer, I think worked very well. Especially for somebody, I don't know. I mean, like sometimes I get kind of nervous with people who are like very well known for being in bands and then do something slightly more experimental. Like, it's just a question for me of like, how much do you work on this? I think sometimes like, I mean, depending on like what kind of audience you've cultivated, right? But like, if people like you enough, I feel like sometimes people get very excited about like, oh yeah, man, like they're doing something completely different. It's so crazy. But then like if you listen to more of that music, you're like, yeah, but it's not really good.
Like if you don't have context for their normal thing, then the contrast doesn't mean as much to you, probably.
And if you have a lot of context for the thing that they're trying, then it's like, Any more thoughts about?
I do kind of want to try. I've been kind of wanting to try playing solo like without pedals a little bit, just to get just 100% guitar playing, which is a scary proposition, but I think would be a good contrast. There's this cocktail bar that opened in town that is starting to do music, and I want to reach out to them and see if just play like nylon string stuff. And
nice.
I don't know. It'd be good practice for me if nothing else, and then hopefully good vibe for them.
But so for that, you think you would have just like a set list and play
Yeah, or
songs,
just
or
just
are you
just like a
thinking?
list of songs that I could pick from and maybe
Mhm.
improvise within or just make songs up too. But
Yeah, I feel like you definitely do that.
the other thing too about more stuff like that, like when I've played solo, there's been a couple times I've played at like the hospital where it's like an hour long, and that's a long time to
Whoa.
play solo. And I remember like the first time doing that
Yeah.
with I was like in the middle. I was like, oh, I should have like practiced playing these like songs at home
Yeah.
because it's one thing to like
Yeah.
just putz
Yeah.
around at
Yeah. Yeah.
home and you can start and
Uh-huh.
stop and like you're not, but to have the discipline of like, oh no, I need to like like plow through this. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and similar with I don't really stop for those that much either. It's like maybe I'll take a little dip, but um, I don't know. It's always interesting too, like your conception of time during those. Like sometimes I'll
Yeah.
check and it's like, oh, it's already been like a half hour, and then other times it's like
Mm-hmm.
somehow it's only been 5 minutes since I last checked the time. It's weird.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely like whatever you're gonna do, you need to do it in that
Yeah,
format, like
yeah,
at home.
yeah. Like practice how you play. It's like it's
Yeah, also that kind of like, yeah, like how does it feel versus how does it
mhm,
sound? When you're playing solo, it's very easy to get in your head
yeah,
about that. Because yeah, I mean there's been times when like for whatever reason, like I'm just more in my head, so I'm like almost like too aware of like every
oh
decision that
yeah.
I'm
I
making.
yes. I mean, I talked about overthinking. Yeah, it's like I used to be
Yeah.
so much more like worried about how it was
Uh-huh.
perceived rather than just doing it. And
Yeah. Well, but there's also sometimes like when I'm not that worried, and it's not that I think it's going
mhm,
wrong. It's just like I am so, yeah, just aware of like just thinking
every
about
little
like,
choice. Yeah,
okay, yeah, or like, okay, and now we're gonna turn this pedal off, and like now this has been long, if this has been going for too long, so we need to start thinking about how we're gonna move it. And so like it might end up being like good
yeah,
musically because like the choices were good, but it was super stressful. And sometimes like you just hit some zone or something and you like almost like check out
yeah.
of your brain.
That's that. That's kind of the
uh
best when when you're just like
yeah, I mean sometimes it can also happen that like it felt great and it
yeah,
wasn't as good. So I don't think there's necessarily like a
mhm,
correlation between, yeah, between like spacing out and being super aware. Like I don't think one always results in better music or
yeah.
worse music. It's just, yeah, you just have to kind of like live with that and be comfortable uh whatever's happening. Yeah, but I don't know. I mean the guitar only, I feel like I could do that, but I would have to then like bring like a bunch of junk.
I think for me too, it's
Like
just getting comfortable with the space that
mhm.
because it's kind of similar to what we've talked about a bunch before of like hearing other people do things and it
Yeah.
sounds fine, but then when you're in it, it feels completely different or like it doesn't make sense. Like because I see other solo guitar players get down to like single line stuff at some point for a little bit, and
Mhm.
it's like, oh, this sounds good because they're playing good ideas and all this, but like for some reason when I'm doing
Yeah.
that, it just feels like the bottom drops out, and I'm just like,
Oh yeah, totally.
so it's getting over that kind of mental hump, I think, a little bit
Mhm.
of just trusting that it is sounding fine to other people and not I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, totally. Um yeah, especially as the pedal board has gotten like more complex. I'm definitely like layering a
Mhm.
lot, and it would be good to remind myself like, oh yeah, sometimes like you can just play like
Yeah,
some notes with a nice reverb, and you're totally
absolutely.
fine, and people are gonna like that. Okay,
Cool.
well, did we? I don't know. Did we
I
figure
think
this
we did,
out?
yeah.
It's
I think our next solo sets are gonna be great.
yeah, yeah. We can learn from each other and encourage each other.
That's what it's all about.
Yes. All right.
Should we talk music, Rex?
Yeah,
Do you want to go
music.
first?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sure. I just have to see what year this came out. but I'm pretty sure it's 2025.
Sounds like just last year.
Yeah. 2025. All right, so the album is called Soft Spot, and the band, this is Norwegian.
Okay.
So I feel like I keep choosing bands where I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing things correctly or not. I think you said Honning Barna,
Okay.
meaning the children of the honey or
Okay.
something like that. Like I think Honning is honey, Barna is children. 2025 Norwegian band. They sing in Norwegian, and apparently it's not only Norwegian, but it's like a very specific like dialect or something. Not that I would notice the difference, but I've seen comments online of people saying like, "Yeah, this is kind of bizarre." like if you speak Norwegian, like hearing that dialect is like, okay, because I guess people just don't use it. Outsiders just talking. But yeah, this like, I don't know, this is one of those albums that I feel like kept popping up in different, like, just things that I follow where like they recommend music, and for whatever reason like I didn't check it out, and then it just kept it kept appearing in my life, and I was like, okay, I have to listen to this, and kind of like immediately I was like, oh my god, yes, this is totally for me. It was just interesting that like I kind of assumed that they were a newer band, but they have been playing forever. I mean, they must have started when they were pretty young, because I think they're like about like our age or so. Definitely with like roots in hardcore punk, but getting much more adventurous. I mean, if anybody listening, like if you like Refused, which was a Swedish band, that kind of like their peak was more like in the 2000s, I think, or 2000s to 2010s or so. It kind of feels like an evolution of that. Like you have some stuff. There might be some things with like maybe like an odd time signature, or like kind of like an angular riff, or like a weird song structure. Yeah, I mean, I think Honning Barna, like they can also, especially on this album and the one before, yeah, they can kind of like tap into different things. Like some songs, like also with the production, like it almost sounds like industrial, just like super repetitive and like super distorted. But then suddenly there will be a song where like it's way more melodic, where it almost sounds, I mean, not like pop punk, but like there's like jangly chords and cleaner melody on top of it, or like some stuff almost sounds like a little bit kind of like the Hives. It's just to me it was an interesting thing of like, man, it's a combination of things that like are not that far away from each other. Like it's all kind of like under the umbrella of punk, right? But they're weaving them in a way where like the album ends up being like super dynamic, and it still feels like it makes sense. This is all the same band. And yeah, some like very interesting choices in the production. Like there's also a song that like just cuts out. Like the first time I checked my phone and like I went back to it, and back to the end, because I thought, oh, it just stopped for some reason. I have no idea. I mean, it's still very jarring. Like there's no, I can't tell like of any reason like why that song has to be like that, but it's kind of fun that it just.
I like a choice like that.
Yeah, and it's not even that it's super long, or that they hit this moment at the end where they're just singing the chorus over and over and then it cuts. It's like it feels like it cuts too early. So it's like a real like poke when you're listening to it. But yeah, I was just thinking of like albums from last year, and there's some other ones that I'll probably like end up talking about, but that was the one that I just kept going back to. And I don't know, like I don't often listen to the same album over and over. And there's actually some albums that I really like that I've only maybe heard like once or twice.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and with this one was like a couple of weeks, like I was just listening to this one. Maybe I will like go to something else and then go back to this one. And then I downloaded like the one before this one, and it was just kind of like alternating between the two. And yeah, I was just telling everybody like, you need to check this out. Yeah, I go well into it. I feel like, yeah, Will, especially I think because he often has to drive long
Yeah,
distances.
for sure.
He's easier to convince, or like, oh yeah, just check this out whenever you run out of music to listen to. How about yours?
I'm gonna go with this is from 2015. Sufjan Stevens, his record, Carrie and Lowell.
Oh, I haven't listened to this one. Okay.
So I remember when it came out, and I remember hearing really good things about it. And I never listened to it then. I'm weird sometimes that way, where it's like, even if I'm told a bunch of times it's good, but by the people I trust too, and like it's just like I have to find stuff like in my own way, I guess, or something a lot of the time.
Yeah, which then is also annoying because you have to, like after like 4 years, you have to go back to your friends and be like, "Hey, you were right.
You're right all along." I want to say that I was riding in with Drew Morton on the way to a gig. I think this is right, and he was driving, and then I think a song came up in like one of his playlists or on shuffle or something. And I like Sufjan Stevens fine. I wouldn't say I'm like a super fan or anything, but definitely liked his music in the past. And the song came on, and I was like, "Well, this is really cool." It was kind of less. Not I want to say bombastic. Maybe that's too strong of a word, but like those like
I know what you mean.
Like the Illinois record and the Michigan record. There's just a lot of like production going on sometimes, or just like a lot of horn. I don't know.
Yeah.
And so this was like much more stripped down and maybe more toward like his earlier stuff, I guess. I guess I'm not an expert, so I don't know. But and then so I put on the record, and it's a lot of like pretty relatively simple progressions, a lot of like ukulele and all these kind of like delicate light sounding instruments that kind of this like slow building things where stuff it's like very additive in that way. And so it's all these delicate things adding up to this like quiet like lushness, I guess, if that makes sense. A lot of like double tracked vocals, which is always fun for me. Just I was thinking about just like the production of it all too as I'm listening to it. I'm not a very lyric forward guy, but it is there's some. So it was written, I think, after his mom passed away, Carrie. And so there's a lot of songs about lyrics about death and whatever. Which even someone like me who's bad with lyrics can pick up on pretty quick. But it's all these kind of like small, delicate, like beautiful tunes, like really cool melodies. A couple of tunes like end with these cool transitions into like these little spacey or like interlude kind of things too, which I find really fun. The first couple of tracks even there's some cool like pedal steel mixed in, which is always, it's always fun to have. Not country pedal steel. Not that, I mean, I love country pedal steel, but it's nice to have it in other contexts as well.
Yeah.
It's just this, not lo-fi, but just chiller kind of ambient folk kind of stuff. And his voice is just great. This like high kind of like, I don't know. It's a little like warm blanket of a record. It's just like, oh, this is like, and it's easily digestible too, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting when you find things that like production for music that it could have been like just put one mic on the guitar, one mic on the vocals, and play it and be done. And when you find a record where like they found a way to, maybe polishing it is not the right word, but like without losing that intimacy, add to the production, and just like have like a more fuller version of that feeling.
Yeah, it kind of, so with some of this Deb Talon stuff we've been working on, so a lot of tunes have taken multiple lives almost, where it's like we'll build up this one thing and then Deb will kind of realize it's not really what is serving the song or her vision of the song. It's almost like it's almost like you're adding a bunch of stuff and then like sculpting away the marble to get to really what the essence of the tune is. And I wonder if it's a similar thing with this record too, where it's like maybe maybe they added a bunch of stuff and then pulled it back to where it like sits perfectly with all these little little additions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's there's a song on Illinois, the John Wayne Gacy song or whatever. I don't know if you know that one, but I think that tune is just like him and a piano basically, and maybe some other stuff too. But yeah, it's similar vibe to that. This like very chill, but kind of a little haunting at the same time. It's a comforting, haunting record.
A friendly ghost.
Yeah. Casper stylies.
I think it's funny that you mentioned Deb, because actually, I think I've seen you two play live twice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 2 times in Seattle. And I've sometimes then like gone to the recording to find some of the songs, and I'm like, oh, I actually like it better when it's just the two of them.
There's something nice. Yeah, there's something really special with some of those songs really, really speak well in that stripped down setting.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we solved solo guitar today.
Add that to a checklist.
All right. Once again, this has been Stompboxing. Thanks for listening. My name's Dan.
I'm Carlos.
And see you next week. Okay, bye.